Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. And this evening, I have some special guests. I have Gavin with us for a change, Kaylee, and we have Brittany, watch ringer, going to come on with us. Hi, Brittany.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
I mean, the suspense of keeping everybody, like the drum roll moment, totally went. By the way, just before we came on air, Spencer said, "Is my hair straight?"
That hair.
Is that hair straight? Kaylee, is my hair straight? Spencer, you look perfect. Welcome, Brittany.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me on
We're
tonight.
so happy. We're so happy to see you with a big smile and healthy because we know you and your husband have suffered with a little bout of the lurgid COVID.
It's not been nice. It's not been nice. I keep telling everyone it got me good.
She says as she holds a pint of lager.
So it looks like you've recovered well.
I mean, guys, things have been tough. Things have been tough. Let a girl have a drink at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure to have you on. Honestly, we are we're two little fanboys, if I'm going to be really honest. We love your channel. We seriously love your channel.
Oh, thank you.
Looking forward to you joining us today.
I found all two of my subscribers. So that's great.
There you go. Well, three. You add your parents in there as well. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to keep an eye on all the comments coming through. We want to hear your views, actually. The title of tonight's show, Top 5 Rolex Predictions for 2022. So I'd like to know in the comments, what are your predictions? What do you think is going to be happening in 2022? We're going to be talking to Brittany all about that in just a little second. Now, for those of you in the big wide world who wonder what the big news of the day is, as we've just been chatting, has anybody realised that Instagram's down, Facebook's down, WhatsApp's down. So we spent the whole day figuring out that our internet wasn't working, and then we're turning our phones off and on, and then we realised that someone told me that Facebook's had a little attack and all those kind of channels are down. Brittany, let's bring you straight back in. What was first of all, before we go anywhere, wrist check. Brittany, what have you got on?
Oh, get in. Well, since we're talking about on just the black ceramic.
Oh, just the black ceramic. just the little Daytona black ceramic. You are one lucky girl to be wearing that. That's all I know.
Oh,
it's absolutely beautiful. Model reference number?
Oh gosh, I don't know the reference off the top of my head for the Daytona.
We'll help you out, Brittany.
Spencer will help you out there.
116500 LN.
That's the one.
That is absolutely the one.
Spencer.
Kaylee, what are you adorning today?
I have got on the Oyster Petrol 41 in the silver.
Oh, we like that one. Spencer, you've had a little change today, haven't you?
I've had a change because everyone's been having a go. Should I pop it on that?
Yeah. What are you wearing, Spencer?
I've got here the white gold Smurf.
There we go. That's an absolute stunner.
So that there is the 1165 19.
Brittany, what do you think of that watch?
Gorgeous. Great choice.
Absolutely popping.
Yeah.
The date's wrong, Spencer. I just want to point that out.
We realised.
Before everybody jumps all over that.
I've just...
And I am wearing something a bit special today. I went into the BQ vaults and I managed to steal myself something that I've got my eye on. Spencer, I've got my eye on this. I've got myself a 2005 16710 GMT Coke. Spencer, you can pop it under the camera and have a little look. And don't worry, Ian, I'm not going to drop the watch today. I'm going to hand it over to the boss. This is very interesting, actually. Brittany, we're going to just run through this. This watch came with, Spencer told me, interchangeable bezel.
Yeah. With not so much interchangeable. It came originally with a black bezel. I always thought that it was a terrible choice to have a black bezel on a GMT. Should I take that there?
Yeah, you have a look.
There we go, so everyone can see it. So that's the black bezel there. So you could, when this first came out, this was available with either the black, the Coke, which this now has here, which I'll show you. There it is with the Coke, okay? Or, as everyone knows, the Pepsi. Now, back in the day, you could pop to Rolex, and I've even got the invoice here.
I've got it here. £26.44p, including VAT.
And that was including fitting. So now it's about double that. I'm not sure if they only do it with the service. So that's what you could do and go and get the insert changed. And it'll be totally original. And this was always a piece that was sold, and there wasn't a different reference number for the different bezels. So you could either have it in black, the Coke, or the Pepsi, and it was literally as cheap as £25. Change the insert.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Brittany, what do you think about the my lovely 2005 Coke?
I love it.
You love
I
it.
love it.
Let's get
The
on
idea
to
that-
you. Let's get over to you. This show is literally in honour of you, as fanboys. We want you to tell us all about your channel. Never mind us. We'll get to everybody in a second. We want to hear all about you. What inspired you to start your own watch channel?
Oh, stop. I'm so glad I found all 2 of my subscribers, for real. Well, COVID had happened and the whole world had kind of flipped up on its head. And I work in the church as a vicar, as my day job.
Shut up.
And we had to learn how to have church without having church. So we started making YouTube videos. So I started to learn, how to talk in front of a camera, how to edit, how to do all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, I kind of got the hang of it now. But I could talk about anything on earth that I wanted to talk about. If I could just natter away all day about whatever I wanted to talk about, what would I make a channel about? And I thought, oh, easy, watches. So in February 2021, I started up my channel, and I just wanted it to be fun as well. I wanted it to be a bit of joy in watch collecting, because a lot of the channels I watched, and I love these kind of channels, but they were very stuffy.
Yeah.
They were very, very just specs being read. Watches just bring me so much joy, and they've infused my life with so much joy. So how do I spread that joy onto others, and hopefully give a flavor, a different flavor that people might enjoy?
Brittany, I can see how you're a vicar now. You got the whole hands, you got the preaching, you got everything going on. I may even come to your church.
I should have worn my dog collar just for you guys.
I'm still picking myself up off the floor. You're a real life vicar. I didn't see that. I had heard, but I didn't see that coming.
I get that a lot. And I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, because a bit like maybe the boring watch channels that you mentioned prior, I guess I just didn't expect someone with such an outgoing, fun-loving personality to be a vicar and then talk about watches.
We need more fun vicars. There's a big market in that industry as well.
100%. Tell me, are you ever going to do a show in your dog collar?
Oh gosh, no, I don't think so. Well, who knows? Maybe one day.
That's fantastic. No, good for you. And so, did you always have watch knowledge? Is that something you've always loved?
No, it's all new for me. And, I'm still learning as I go. And that's some of the joy for watch collecting for me. There's every once in a while, Spencer, I've seen you get a reference number wrong, or sometimes I'll get a reference number wrong or something. And people will be like, oh, you know nothing about watches. You know what? Forget you. We're all learning as we go. And there's always to learn every week. And that's part of the joy of it, isn't it?
Sure.
That is absolutely the joy of it. And I mean, you've got a little bit of. I've seen your watches and your watch collection. Have you built that up quite quickly, or is it something that was God given? Boom, boom.
It was not God given. It's just built quickly. Fortunately for me, though, my husband has been watch collecting since like the 90s. So he's had a lot of great connections already with a lot of ADs, which has opened up a lot of watches for me as a newer collector that a lot of new collectors don't get to have quite as quickly as I did, like a Daytona at retail.
And out of your watches, all the watches, which is your absolute favorite? Is it the Daytona?
Oh boy. Oh, this is always so hard to answer. No, me and my Daytona have a bit of a funny relationship, actually. It took me a long time to bond with it.
Really?
I didn't know if I would bond with it, but we're officially friends. Oh, my Cartier tank probably is my most sentimental watch.
Because?
Yeah, it just makes me happy. And then I would say my most versatile and the one I wear the most is my OP.
What OP is it, Brittany?
I do know the reference number for this one. I got the 124200. It's just the black 34 millimeter.
Okay.
Just the black 34 millimeter. Just the black 34 millimeter. Wow. Impressive. Let's have a look what everybody is saying. Greggy Boy, good evening. I hope you're well. Boom, we're on evening all. Raymond Richards, evening all. Greggy Boy says, hiya, Britt. He's on half-name basis with you. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Craig Taylor, evening, gentlemen and ladies. Been looking forward to this all day. So have we. Max Marino says, has she got her Daytona on? That was a pretty good guess, wasn't it? General Wombo in the building. Good evening. Matt H, love the watch, Spencer. Blue sub. I see that Spencer's changed his watch this week. You have, actually. What have you done? Is the other one back in the safe?
The other one's locked away. Everyone have been saying I've been wearing that for too long, so it was due a change.
Absolutely. We asked people for their predictions. What's going to be the top 5 Rolex predictions for 2022? And they're starting to come through. Nick Byrne says, I'd put money on the Air King being discontinued, though for what it's worth, I reckon the Milgauss will still be around. We're going to get to all that later. If you've got any predictions for 2022, and we'll come to you in a second, Brittany, with that. Jim Little says, just got the call from the AD for the Batman on Jubilee on Thursday. Drive 8 hours to the AD the next day to pick up, out of state, no purchase history, 2-month wait. It can happen.
Oh,
That's
wow.
impressive,
That's
isn't it?
Really impressive.
Incredible.
We are hearing a little bit more of that, aren't we?
8 hours, though, an 8-hour drive.
An 8-hour drive. Wow, that's unbelievable.
I know.
Brittany, is that something you look forward to? Do you have your name down for watches anywhere?
I've got my name down for a few pieces. I feel my collection moving less and less Rolex. I feel myself moving out of steel sports watch land, and I feel my heart being called to more dress watches.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. The one I can't get it off my mind. It's a little Patek Philippe Calatrava. It's the reference 7200. And it's just like not a watch anyone really talks about or you see all that often, but I can't get it out of my brain.
Is that on a bracelet, Brittany? The 7200?
I know, it's on a strap.
On a strap piece. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's on your mind. And what do you are you one of these people that like manifests things? If you like, you put it out into the universe and it will come to you.
I don't think it's the universe. I think it's my sheer unrelenting
persistence.
Like, being annoying. Yeah. Like I will just annoy the AD until they like give me the watch to shut me up for about 6 months. Then I'll be back.
Right. Okay. And whereabouts are you? You're up. Where are you based?
We're based in Bristol.
Bristol. Okay.
Well, my husband's from Yorkshire originally, so we have really good connections up in Leeds and York.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I have no connections anywhere, apparently. I keep getting thrown out of every AD going. Doesn't really work. Guys, let's have a look what else we've got. Batch Guitar says, could we see a new Air King or an upgraded Air King for 2022? That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Andy Wilkinson said, did Gringer get to the front of the wait list by praying? I might give it a go. Is that something that works? Do we believe in that?
I mean, I wonder if I could make a side hustle of me praying for people to get watches. Like give me money or something. I don't know. And like see what happens.
Do you think that, oh, yeah, I feel gutted we don't have a drink in front of it.
We
I
need
feel,
to bring some beers.
You got beers, James?
Come on then.
We've only been doing this 6 months. All of a sudden he brings out a beer.
Come on then, James. About time you gave us something.
Seriously. Take the studio every week on rental. Now he's offering us a beer just to keep up with Brittany. Brittany, we're getting the beers in. Look at that. We're matching up with you. Jim says, totally worth the 8-hour drive. Jamie Oplin's Patek is king. Guys, we've got some, I'm really fingers crossed, got some fantastic news for you that we're going to reveal. It's horrible, this whole YouTube thing. We're going to reveal it next week. But Spencer, I'm hoping, is going to have some really positive news about our up-and-coming next BQ Watches Watch Fair.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, James.
What is this? This is James plugging his other show. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, James that runs the studio here, he has a very, if you love fantasy football, then please go onto YouTube and look for FPL Juice. And here is an FPL Juice lager, which they very nicely got branded up.
Just try it out.
Shall I try it first?
You try
Do
it
the
first.
taste test.
It's got funny floating things in it. You sure you haven't drugged this?
Brittany, we'll send some to you next time round. Good is it, Gav?
I'll be waiting. I got some on the reserves just in case, but I would love to give that a try.
That is
That's
very.
all right.
It's actually very, very nice. Right, Spencer. What else have you got in front of you there? Let's have a look at some of the other pieces you brought in today.
Talking of what a few people have mentioned, we've got the Air King, the 116900. So there is talk of this piece being discontinued.
There is indeed. That comes into our top 5.
Again, this being the reference of one of the last. So as everyone would know, things have changed now to a 12 reference. So this is one of the first.
Do you want to pop it under the camera so we can have a little look?
I'm just going to pop.
Oh, you're going to put your gloves on.
I'm going to put the.
We're big on gloves here, Brittany.
I
always
should get better at my gloves.
There we go.
We always get told off for not wearing our gloves.
There we go.
Let's have a little look. I can pop a little light on that for you as well. Look. There you go. Just pull it back a bit, Spencer, so it's in focus. There you go. So this is a very much, shall we call it a lower end model?
Well, it's one of the more reasonable. I mean, list price on this is £5,150.
Right. That makes it reasonable.
Well, in Rolex world, it's about as reasonable as you get.
And so when they talk about the discontinuation of the model, the discontinuation of the model number and bringing out something new?
Because it's got the old movement, the old calibre in it.
Right, okay. So updating the calibre,
So what
which
they're
makes
talking about, updating the calibre, updating the movement, and then becoming a 1-2 reference.
Right.
And then they may change something on the case or the dial. I mean, this was changed a number of years. I think was it about 2016 that this piece.
Neil Taylor says, "Hi Spencer, I see the prices may be softening a bit on the Deep Sea 126660 black dial. Everyone wants the James Cameron. Could this be a good investment bet?"
Quite possibly, especially if it does get discontinued.
And across the board, I mean, you're a really good benchmark for what's really going on in the world in terms of the watches. Are prices, I keep hearing it quite a lot recently over lots of channels. I don't know if you're hearing that, Brittany, as well, but a little bit of softening in certain little spots.
No, I don't think. Yes, certain spots.
Certain spots.
But things that are strong are still really strong.
Yeah, they look like there's no budging.
There's certain things that there's nothing about. Daytonas, root beers have gone really strong. Hulks, all the sports, all the usual contenders. But I mean, Daytonas are up at 25, almost 30,000.
I saw the new white dials. You've got 21 models in today, and they're just under 30 grand.
Just under 30,000. I mean, it's crazy.
What do you make about all that, Brittany? About the sort of continued price rising and all this stuff? Does it shock you, surprise you, or not surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I just could not spend more than retail on most watches. It's just the prices are nuts right now, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'm not an economy expert or anything, but I think it's just a lot of supply and demand, and people want the watch, people can't get the watch, so it's going to cost what it costs.
No, absolutely. But I actually totally understand. Spencer will kill me. I totally understand what you mean about not paying above retail, but as you know, one of our very lovely subscribers pointed out to me at one of our watch shows that if you can't get something and you really, really want it, then the right price is the market price.
Grey market.
Grey market price. That really is it's not made up. It is supply and demand. And if there was no demand for it, the price would simply go down until they could shift and find their next level. But they do.
True.
Talking about demand, the one in front of you, Spencer, is still constantly in demand, isn't it? How about we show that one?
Sure. So this is absolutely crazy. I mean, again, when this was first sort of 7, 8.
Is that a 41 mil? Spence, you flipped the camera up your nose. That's great. There we go.
You have to help me here.
Okay. Shall I get out my chair? All right. I'll do it. You stay there. Wow.
Hi, guys.
Carry on talking, Spence. I'll sort this out. Carry on talking.
Okay. When this piece first came out, they were going for 7,000, 8,000. I mean, this piece is now 12,000, 13,000, the 41 mil, and it's still a current model. So when this does get discontinued, God knows where this will be.
There you go. You got it there.
You got there?
It's on the side now.
So when this piece is discontinued, we got Siri come up now.
We're doing
Gav.
so well. This is amazing. Excellent. I have Indian Siri. It makes me smile. I don't know why. What do you think of the OPs and the big rises, Brittany?
Ooh, OPs are so interesting. And actually, I'm basing kind of some of my predictions of tonight on OPs and kind of what's happening. Once again, I got mine at retail. I personally don't like the funky color ones quite as much as
Really?
people do.
That's interesting. You don't like the funky colors?
No, I don't. I'm boring. I am the colorful star of my show. I can't have my watch overtaking me.
I totally hear you on that.
I just like a classic kind of looking watch, and I don't know what it is. The colorful ones don't do it for me, but I know they're wildly popular. I think it was a really smart move, though, for them, maybe to give their entry-level watches or their more entry-level pieces a bit of a facelift to get hopefully younger demographics interested in.
But Brittany, this is crazy because exactly what you're saying was 100. When these first came out, everyone's view was, what are they doing? They've ruined the brand, and everyone was really negative. Then suddenly they're going for 6,000, 7,000. The yellows, the coral red were just going for crazy money. So it's not so much what we think, it's what the public and the demand, and I say this all the time, it's what economics does to this piece.
Speaking of economics, Frank Brennan's just popped in with, here in the UK, we're on the brink of a recession at best and a full-blown depression at worst. And if the latter does occur, what will the grey market prices be this time next year? I don't know. I understand a little bit about macroeconomics, but it doesn't actually feel like recessionary. I know we've got inflation, but Spencer, things are strong, aren't they?
But if I was just thinking,
luxury items are still strong.
Luxury's huge, but going back a couple of years ago, I was selling Daytonas, Brittany. Like you've got the black, the white. They sort of broke the 20,000. Everyone thought, God, this is crazy. And so many of my customers said, I'm going to wait for them to settle back to 17, 18,000. The next move on those pieces was 22,000. We've now got white Daytonas at 29,000. I mean, Watchfinder are selling them over £30,000. It's wild. Yeah. But this is where, if something collapses a bit, it's the public who buy them who drive the price back up.
Yep. Let's jump into these predictions for 2022. Brittany, we're going to have your thoughts on all these. So what I've done, I've scoured the internet, not necessarily for our predictions, but for what's out there and easy for us to comment on, because let's be honest with you, none of us really know, do we, Brittany? 2022, a number one in our list is the updated Rolex GMT Coke will be released in 2022. What do we think about that? Brittany.
Oh, Brittany. Yeah, quite plausible. I don't know. Rolex predictions are always so hard because I feel like every year they keep like punching me in the gut with things I just didn't expect. So last year, the Rolex, it was the year of the Explorer. I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
It was going to come the way it did. The year before, the colorful OPs, I had absolutely no idea. So I feel like pretty much everything I speculate never comes to fruition.
Do you get excited around the time that they're about to make their announcement? Are you sort of counting down the days like Sleep Till Christmas?
As a watch YouTuber, yes, because it's great content. Rolex is always just going to serve you some more great content. But I really think, like usual, Rolex will give us something really underwhelming. It will hardly be a change, and we'll all lose our minds over it.
There we go. Spencer, what do we think about? What do you think about that?
I think the Coke's the one that's been left out, so 100%. 100%. You've had the Pepsi. Coke's got to come forward. Okay. I think it's a great shout.
Okay. Number two on our prediction list, Rolex will use more red in their 2022 releases. So they've had obviously huge success with green. Everybody followed suit over the last couple of years. Everybody's been issuing green watches, but now it's the turn of red, the color red, a Pantone of red. What do we think about that? It's going to be on Submariners, Explorers perhaps, or maybe even the Milgauss will experience red in 2022. Kaylee, what do you think?
I don't know, because obviously the Sea Dweller 50th anniversary, the writing's in red. Yeah. And obviously people love that piece because it's the 50th anniversary one. So it really all depends how they're going to put red into it. Is it going to be
That's
the
what are you saying here?
writing?
Complete red dial.
Well, they're talking. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. Is like on the Submariner, maybe a red face, red dial. I mean, Brittany, these watches sell hugely across the Asian markets, and they love. It's very lucky, the red, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a great move, really. I personally don't like red, so
Me either. Tottenham all the way.
I don't really care either way, but yeah, red's not really my jam. So I think if they did bring out anything red, it wouldn't affect my buying all that much. But I think it, like you're saying, would be really great for a lot of other people.
What do you think, Spence? Red?
Could
you see a red Submariner, red dial, red face?
I personally can't see a red Submariner. I just can't see it. I mean, there was a few in the dates. There were diamond dials in Datejust that had a sunburst red, where it was graduated.
What was the Frank Bruno?
Frank Bruno had a red date that was quite popular and was referred to as the Frank Bruno date. I just don't know. And like you say, Brittany, whatever we predict, whatever ideas we've got, whatever we think, it's just they throw a curveball in that just throws everything.
Yeah,
it really does.
To be really, really honest and put my hands up here, when I was scratching my head over the weekend about a title for the show, I thought, oh, that goes down quite well, doesn't it? We'll do predictions. We haven't done one of those for a very, very long time. Overdue models will be discontinued. 2 collections that still haven't been upgraded to the new house calibers, Air King and the Milgauss.
Yep.
Both are under the watch radar, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Milgausses, we haven't seen a lot of those for a while. Yeah, they've sort of been quite scarce. I think people are hanging on to them. But that would definitely make sense with the Air King and the Milgauss.
And you're a really good indicator, aren't you, of when things are being sort of, squeezed or the supply dries up. Does that sort of give you an indication that people, or do you hoard watches?
Well, we don't, but people do, and people are always saying, oh, I'll hang on to that in case it gets discontinued. Because everyone knows the way things go. Discontinuation means price rise, and that's it. That's what.
Ian Nicholson says, I wouldn't be surprised if Rolex brings out a completely brand new watch with a brand new name. When was the last time it did that?
Do you know something? I honestly couldn't answer
You couldn't say.
Because an Explorer goes back years, the Milgauss goes back years, so does Daytona. Brittany, can you think of anything that's been brought for? As I say, all of the watches go back to the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
They're like 50 year.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure people in the chat will correct
Well,
me.
Sky Dweller. The Sky Dweller's a new piece.
Sky Dweller's 2015, wasn't it? No,
Yeah.
not 2015. What was it?
20.
I'm sure one of our viewers will tell us in a second.
Yeah. As I say,
There you go, Greg Sky Dweller, 9 years ago.
The Sky Dweller. So besides that, I can't think of anything that's come forward, really, as in a different name.
Yeah. Wowza. Okay. Let's have a look at next on the list. Here's a good one, Brittany, because you're the youngster, and Kaylee, obviously, amongst the group here. Rolex ADs will be selling more to the younger generation, trying to bridge the gap between the older generation who aspired to Rolex and then basically, selling drugs to kids, if you like, getting them hooked on the brand. What do you think about that?
I think that's absolutely right. And for that reason, I actually don't think the Air King's going to go. I think Air King's going to get a facelift. Maybe something new happened, like what they did with the OPs, or even remember like the Palm dial that came out on the Datejust. I think a lot of the entry-level watches have been kind of getting facelifts. So I think, who knows, that could be Air King to me. And Milgauss is just a few years away from an anniversary as well. So I don't know if they'll get rid of those, but I definitely think a top priority of theirs right now is bridging those gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, amongst the younger generation, and we have seen it over the past few years, it does seem to be, I can't use the word kids. It's a bit embarrassing, makes me look old. But the young generation are definitely sort of earning money and putting it to work and buying assets, and watches seem to be amongst that. Kaylee, amongst your friends, do they aspire to buy watches now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people see it as an investment. So they work hard, and rather than keeping it in the bank, they think may as well put it in a watch. And I think because everyone now is talking about watches, everyone now feels like it's a thing that they need to put money in.
It's a bit like cryptocurrency all
Yeah.
over again, isn't it? Just in
Yeah.
a more in a tangible form that you actually have on your wrist. Spencer, what about you? In terms of your custom base, you're actually slightly older still, aren't you?
Thank you for that, Gav. Yeah, I'm even slightly older than you. Yeah, look, when I go back to sort of when I was 35, 40 or like 90s, 2000, it was a big thing to have a watch, and people looked to have a Submariner, and you were respected if you had that. Now people of 20, 25 are starting out and want to buy a Rolex. So it has totally changed, and I do agree with you. If people at a young age are hooked to a brand or a following, they then, through their whole life, will build a collection, and that's...
Why do we think that this could never happen to Tudor, by the way? What's happening with Rolex? Because they're very well-made watches. I know it's seen as a sort of, a sister brand to Rolex. Well, it is a sister brand, not seen as. And it's very much a sub-brand. But why are we not seeing sort of appreciation in those sort of watches? Is it just because they're more free-flowing?
I think there's just more available. People buy them. They look at them as a sideline to a Rolex, but then what they really want is a Rolex, like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
To get into
Like they get it first.
They get it first, and then all they want is a Rolex.
Yeah. What do you think about the old Tudors, Brittany?
I'm a big Tudor fangirl. So
Yeah.
I've got my Tudor Black Bay 58. I truly don't believe I need another dive watch at all. Actually, I'm more excited usually for what Tudor's going to release than what Rolex is going to release.
Sure.
So I'm a big fan of Tudor.
And you own one Tudor?
I own one Tudor. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, I have the luxury of having about 500 of Spencer's watches available.
And
So I go
into the sweet
go
shop.
into the sweet shop. I open up all the drawers. I try everything on, take pictures for Instagram and all the rest of it. And I think that's really so. This whole like try before you buy is Brittany. If you ever come down, which you will do, come into the store, come into Spencer's place. It's like Candyland beyond. You can just sit in there all day, sit on the floor, get loads of watches out, and just snap on your gram and take pictures and just it's pretty special.
Sign me up. Sign me. That sounds like a great time.
We'll send you a train ticket, Brittany. We'll get you over.
We'll get you down. In fact, we're hoping next week, fingers crossed, to be announcing Spencer's next BQ Watches
we're
watch
hoping to do something in November. So, Brittany, you'll be booked in for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Well, Sunday's a bit difficult for you, Brittany, isn't it?
Can we book the day off with
kind
you?
of my day. It's kind of my day, guys.
Yeah. You can't ask the boss for a day off?
It's the one day I have to actually go to work. There's just one day they need me to show up and do something, and it's Sunday.
All right,
Like,
we'll
see
book
what
you
I'm
for the
saying?
Saturday then.
Come down for the Saturday. We'll entertain you for the, or you'll entertain us more to the point. Brittany, I'm still fascinated. I actually, more than you coming down to see us, I really want to come to your church now.
Come on now.
You have literally got me so curious about coming to church. I find churches a bit of a scary place. I've got a bit of a thing about them.
Yeah, they're a bit creepy. Actually, we were talking recently to our youth group about why they don't, invite friends to church. Say, oh gosh, sorry, we're on a watch podcast. I shouldn't go.
No, it's okay. It's all interesting stuff. Go on, tell me, because I'm curious. I have a bit of a phobia about it.
We were asking them, like, what would you invite your friend to church ever? And they all basically said, nah. And we're like, why not? And they're like, it's just a bit weird because we do things like sing songs and I don't know. But then half of them really enjoyed it as well because it was a place where they could talk about things you can't always talk about with anyone.
Sure.
Also, we talk a lot about spirituality, whether that's doubt or, whether we really believe it. But it's kind of a cool little place, churches.
Can I ask you a question? When you were a little girl, littler, did you sort of sit there and go, when I grow up, I want to be a vicar? Was it ever a plan?
I became a Christian when I was a teenager. So my family wasn't Christian or anything. It was a thing that really just happened to me.
Wow.
Never in a million years. Even when I became a Christian, I did not want to work for the church. I wanted to maybe be like a psychologist or something. I don't know. But yeah, I never saw this coming for my life.
Watch Guy Roon says, yeah, we should all go to Brit's church. I mean, you could actually end up with your own sideline cult, the Church of Brittany.
Well, there's way more money in cults.
Yeah, there is, to be fair.
In cults, so who knows?
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do a watch show at the church. What do you think?
It's probably not a bad idea. I mean, you've had worst ideas, I have to say. Let's get on to number 5. New dials will be available for the Datejust collection, similar to the Oyster Perpetual. The Oyster Perpetual collection was always kind of blah when we thought of Rolex watches. They've changed up the colour. So basically what they're saying is the Datejust collection is going to get a similar colour overhaul in line with the OPs. In line with the OPs, yeah. What do we think about that, Spence?
It's possible. It's possible. There it is. Look, it's Rolex. Anything go. Who knows?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't know.
Brittany, they could do anything. Like you say, we're always disappointed, surprised. They bring out something. Everyone has an opinion. They don't think it's right. But nothing they've ever done hasn't sold. Nothing.
No, you got it exactly right. My answer is a little bit similar to Spencer's here. Who knows? Like, who knows what they're going to do? Often they do the exact opposite of what everyone predicts, or they have something totally new up their sleeves that none of us saw coming.
Brittany, do you think someone at Rolex watches your show?
No,
Do you think they have little watch spies out there?
I don't. I would love it if they did, but I'm absolutely convinced.
You just never know. Brittany, seeing as we have like special guest stars on, because that's what you are, a special guest star, we have a little like, this or that kind of quiz for you, which let's jump straight in, okay? Rolex or Patek?
Ooh, it has traditionally been Rolex for me, but my collection's moving more Patek.
You must be earning more money. Well, then, on the other end of the scale, Casio or Seiko?
Casio.
Which model?
Well, I wear my Illuminator very regularly.
Beautiful. Chinese or pizza?
Pizza.
Pizza. Wine or beer?
Oh, I'm drinking beer tonight, but it's all about the wine.
It's all about the wine. Wow. A Rolex Batman or Batgirl?
Batgirl. The Jubilee's really grown on me.
It has? Didn't love it to start with?
No, I didn't. But my husband has a BLRO with the... Oh, it's here. It's right here.
I just happen to have it to hand.
What?
Oh, look at that.
Jubilee. Am I upside down? No, I got it right way up.
That's all right.
He's got the Jubilee. I didn't like it for the longest time, but it's actually an insanely comfortable bracelet. And I really think it suits the GMT Master 2s. It's kind of a bit dressier, a bit more elevated. Love it.
It is smart. Cinema or theatre?
Oh, cinema.
Yes. You seen the new Bond film yet? Is that up your alley?
It's very up my alley, but we've had the COVIDs, so we can't leave the house.
Oh, yes. You've been sticking to those funny rules, haven't you? Yeah.
Oh, we have been. I'm technically allowed to leave now, but James isn't quite yet.
He's not quite ready. Night out or night in?
Night in.
Yeah. Hublot or IWC?
Ooh. People are going to hate me so much for this, and it's not the popular choice, but I really like Hublot.
Yes. Nothing wrong with Hublot. I'm going to say it. There's nothing wrong with the Hublot. One for the ladies. Here we go. Prada or Gucci? Is that a thing for you?
Well, I can't afford either, but if I could afford either, I'd get Prada.
Are you a handbag person, Brittany?
Nope, not at all. Just a watch girl.
You're just a watch girl. So clothes don't really, fashion brands don't really, it's just really all about the watches.
Oh, I could see myself if I got really rich one day to start wearing ridiculous designer clothes.
Yes.
But it doesn't massively appeal to me quite as much. I'm just purebred watches.
Okay, that's interesting because I came across something today and I literally fell off my chair. Have you got a watch there to the value of about £15,000, Spencer?
Here.
Have we got anything?
Right now?
Yeah, the OP.
Probably the OP.
The OPs are approaching that.
I'm going to bring up a box.
Oh, God.
We like this game, Brittany.
Oh, God.
We've done very badly last time at this.
We've got a big orange box here, okay? And it says...
I know what that is.
Hermes on the front, or if you were French, it probably says Hermes.
Oh, my God. That looks like an unreal box.
I'm gonna open this up, and in here, this is something that was brought to my attention today. We have a handbag, and sometimes we do like a little watch swap thing. Okay, Spencer,
An unboxing.
Oh my God, I
unboxing
love
of a handbag.
it.
Now, I'm a bloke, and I don't really love handbags, but apparently, Kaylee, would you like this handbag?
I actually love it.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Brittany, can you see what that is? It's a handbag.
I have to watch it on this one. It's coming up. Is it like a bright pink?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like a salmon.
It's like a coral.
It's a coral. I'll put it up there. A coral pink bag. Would you think Spencer should swap this bag? It's a handbag. That's all it is. Handbag. Well, we've got a watch here that's 14 grand.
13, 14.
13, 14 grand at the moment. Brittany, do you think he should swap? Would it be a good trade to swap for this handbag?
For pure economics and making money.
Yes, because that's what it's all about for Spencer.
It could well be. I don't know enough about the handbag market, but I know there's like girls who like safe handbags.
Yes.
Don't touch them and then bring them out and sell them years and years later. I would stick with the watch though, Spence, personally, but I could be wrong.
Kaylee, what would you do?
I'd swap.
Kaylee would swap.
Only because...
Is that because you like the handbag?
No.
Joking apart, is it because you like the handbag?
No, because I do know that some handbags are an investment.
Yes.
Just as much as a watch is.
Okay.
And I do know that, say in like 5 years' time...
So Spencer knows a lot about ladies' clothes and bags and accessories. Spencer, you know exactly what that is, don't you?
Correct.
What is that, Spencer?
That's a Hermes Birkin.
Yes.
And these are hugely collectible, valuable, and I don't think I'll be wrong in swapping.
You would be absolutely right in swapping your £13,000 or £14,000. Not by a lot. There's a little bit of profit
I
in
would say
there.
that's worth close to 20.
Yeah, 17. That's a £17,000 handbag. Now, Brittany, does that look like the sort of thing that's an investment to you? I'd rather have a watch all day long, no?
I'd rather have a watch all day long as well. I don't know. Bags don't do it for me. There's a couple of bags I like, but for the most part, no. I'd rather have a watch.
I mean, it pains me to spend 10 pence on a plastic bag from Marks and Spencer's. Never mind £17,000 on a handbag.
Is that what those are now?
What? Yeah, they're 10p from Marks and Spencer's. Oh, you mean that? Yeah, it's an expensive bit of kit, but it just shows you the across the board in the luxury world, there is a very steep appreciation in lots of this stuff. Kaylee, you want to touch it, don't you?
No, but and it's quite cool though to see it's not just watches that is an investment that people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I know a lot of girls that save up to get a bag.
Yeah, if
that is quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And I think they just think, but there is quite a bit of investment in bags as well as watches.
Rene Delapan says Spencer will change it for his pants. Obviously, Brittany, that's an ongoing joke from Spencer's little escapade with Tim. Yes, exactly. His pants are free. Oh, we're into Pantgate now. Designer Atelier. Okay, I'm painting myself a handbag guy now. Maybe I should start a handbag channel. Probably don't drop the bag, someone says. There we go, because I've got a big habit of dropping things. I will not be dropping the bag. But I mean, it's very nice. I'm just not sure that I see value in that. But somebody clearly does, because there's a very, very big secondary market in these as well. There's a big grey market in these. Yeah. It's a bit like the ADs, Brittany. If you can get one of these things, if you can get hold of one, if you're lucky enough to get yourself on a list, they're huge, huge premiums.
Having what is list on that piece?
I think they're around £7,000.
Is that discontinued or is current model?
Well, they're all. This is a 2010. I mean, it's a 2010. So, yeah, but it holds your purse.
So it's a bit like a Hulk then?
It's a bit like a Hulk.
So, like, obviously that's a 2010, but now it's worth 17.
Yes.
But obviously the OPs are brand new out, and obviously they're 2020, 2021, whereas Hulk's obviously 2010.
Watches 63 says the bag is probably harder to get than a Daytona, and that is true. Incredibly, it is true. You have to really be a very special client to Hermes to get yourself on the list. Almost as big as Rolex, Design Atelier says. Guys, if you've got any questions for Brittany, please do pop them in. We did have quite a few that came through our Instagram channel, but sadly somebody's decided to attack Instagram and I couldn't get all the screen grabs to ask you the questions. I'm totally gutted, so we'll have to do that at another point in another show. Greggy Boy says that's a deposit on a house. You're absolutely right. That bag is a deposit on somebody's house.
You could buy some houses, never mind deposit.
I was going to do the joke. You could have a street in Manchester, but I'll get someone. There's a big grey market for Hermes, I'm being told. Oh my God, that stupid bag sucks. Oh. There you go. Well, it's a bit like someone not liking a watch, isn't it? Everybody has an opinion on here. Spencer, do you ever come across other items other than just watches? Because you were in pawnbroking, I'm sure once upon a time.
There's been so many things over time. It's amazing what values, and it's not till you look into it. We had Fabergé eggs. Used to come across the counter. They're worth fortunes, and you've got to really study them. But in some of this high-end stuff and art, there's so many copies and fakes, and
Yes, there is.
that's the thing. You really have to know your stuff.
I'd just like to big a shout out to James again, because actually your beer's all right, James. Yeah, he's so excited. FPL Juice do their own beer. If you like fantasy football, do give them a little look. I've never really been into it myself, but it's very cool. That's the two guys who present the show. They're on their own little bottle. Spencer, we need beers.
Yeah,
we need BQ beers. Everybody, Gringer, have you ever seen our merch?
No.
Check it out.
Oh, so awesome.
We've got merch. Somebody wants us to put up a sideline BQ Watches merch stand.
It is crazy how many people want these.
Yeah, these mouse mats. We have mouse mats, we have mugs, and we have pens. I mean, I think we get about 3 calls a day just to send out. We send them out. Spencer's very good like that.
and the mugs as well. The
Yeah.
mugs, people.
And
Yeah.
it's when people come in to sell a watch and they're sat there in our meeting room, they're like, can I take a mug?
Can I take a mug home?
I'm like, yeah.
Who did we send out stuff to this week? We sent stuff to the States, didn't we? To
Jacob Kendall.
Jacob Kendall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob got his package. He sent us a big thank you. Always happy to FedEx stuff out to Jacob.
And also someone in Scotland as well. We sent something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get some of these out to you. They're pretty cool, aren't they? It's only a mouse mat.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Oh,
look,
that's awesome.
seriously. And
Thank
look,
you.
You're welcome.
Brittany, you can give them out to the churchgoers on a Sunday.
No, you guys, you should really restrict how much you put out so they're really exclusive products.
Yeah.
Make
Start
them collectible.
Start forming a line here. Yeah. And
We need to number them. That's what we should do.
collectibles. Yeah.
The
And Brittany.
Birkin bag of the future.
Exactly. They've got the Rolex Oster production date by serial numbers as well. So you've got your little watch knowledge on the bottom there that tells you.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, Spencer doesn't miss a trick. And it's still got his old address on. Oh, no, it's the new
No,
address.
this one hasn't.
Yeah,
no,
it was close.
No,
It was
that's the
close.
old one.
It was close. Fantastic. Brittany, talking about watches, one of the things we ask everybody, and I'm sure they're on lots of channels, is it's coming up to Christmas, which is a very special time of year. Spencer is a very, very, very generous man. Every guest who comes on this show,
Oh.
I've got
Gets-
a list of watches to give away.
I
for
know,
Christmas.
someone wrote down on the list.
so you get the opportunity, Brittany, to tell Spencer what would be your ultimate, your holy grail, because it will go on his Christmas list along with the other 35 requests. But what is it for you? What is the ultimate?
Well, Spencer, or should I say Santa?
Are you praying, Brittany? Are you praying? Yeah.
I'm going to have to receive this watch at any point in my life. I have a friend, a lovely man named Paul, at F1PTB. He lives in London and he's got a beautiful collection. And he one time let me borrow his really early edition brass movement FP Journe Octaloon. It's a 38 mil. It's my favorite watch I've ever worn. I'm so obsessed with it. I think about it nonstop. I will never be able to afford this watch. It's like 6 figures, this watch. But since Spencer's making things happen for Christmas,
100%. You just got to ask
I guess
Santa.
that's what I'd want. That's what I'd
We
want,
got it
Spencer.
there. There we go. That's been. Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
With the hat, have a look, Brittany. It's going to come up on your screen in a second.
Yeah.
Is that the watch you're talking about? We probably got it all wrong.
Give me a few seconds to make
Have
it
a
come.
little look. James will stop moving the screen eventually.
Sorry, guys. I know this is
That's
boring.
all right. Gary Goodchild says, does anybody use a mouse mat these days? Well, actually, clearly they do. Rennie Delapan says, Gringer, I like your hair. Please send a mouse thing to me, please. Just kidding. Yeah, look, people are commenting on your hair. That's pretty
Brittany,
good, isn't it?
what does the FFC stand for?
FFC.
That's what's on the screen for the watch.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
that's not the one.
It's all right. It's just James guessing. He's drinking his own beers in the control room. James, honestly, don't stress about
I was
it.
seeing that limited edition one, like the hand one, but it wasn't that. But I did see the Octaloon I was after briefly on the screen.
Okay. Well, all you need to know, Brittany, is it's now on the list.
Thank you. Well, Santa knows. Santa knows.
Santa knows, and that's the most important thing. I'm trying to think, actually, what's the most expensive watch anybody's actually asked for? I think so. I think it was only maybe the Platinum Daytona, wasn't it?
Everyone's quite reasonable.
Everybody's quite reasonable.
They don't go over the top with things.
Not when it's gifted. Not when it's gifted. But that's not the end of the world, isn't it? So, Brittany, what's the plans for your channel? What's the ambition now?
Oh man, I don't know. The whole thing I've just been kind of figuring out as I go. And the more I do it, the more I fall in love with it. Really, my next plans is I'm about to hit 10K, hopefully this month.
We were clapping at hitting 2.
Oh, that'll be such a big deal. It'll be such a big deal for me. It really is. It's already grown bigger than my wildest dreams. I would love to, if I ever could, start making YouTube and just talking about watches my full-time job one day. I find it really hard right now because although my job, it seems like a bit of a non-job working in the church, but it really demands 100% from you. But so does my YouTube channel and everything I'm trying to build. So I've got these two things that keep demanding 100% of me. And I really would love for it to just be my YouTube channel one day, or talking about watches and get a few different income streams going on from that.
And what is it you find hardest about running a YouTube channel? Is it the constant need to create content?
Yeah. I've had to go down to 2 videos a week now that my job is so full on again. It's the constant need for I think it's the cocktail of things that it takes to get a video out. So the time-consuming edits, coming up with ideas, and you want to do things that are original and different, but it does take a lot of you to think of ideas. And I think as well, because working in the church, it really is pouring yourself out. And I feel like YouTube's quite similar. Like I'm usually just pouring out more of my personality, who I am, my passion, everything that excites me and lights my heart on fire. But I think I need to remember to take times to reinvest. I think you can only keep making withdrawals so long before you use it. And I've just been making a lot of withdrawals, and I'm beginning to see signs of burnout within myself. So realizing, girl, we need to make some deposits again.
Okay, because I saw you had a little pullback from social media a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? You sort of took a little, I don't know if it was a couple of days or a week off away from it, just to sort of replenish yourself.
Yeah, and I need to do more of that. I think I need to have more boundaries, and YouTube's still all very new to me. So figuring out how to manage my time. Today, I was on the phone with a really beloved friend. He's a music artist, and he kind of knows the 2-job hustle, the 2-job grind. And I was just saying to him, I just feel like it's constant 100% giving out all the time. And he's like, Britt, you need to have firmer boundaries where you actually do have a day off once a week, where you just enjoy time with your husband and sleep in and eat pastries and watch TV.
I'm coming to live with you two if that's what you do. That sounds fantastic.
Right? I mean, marriage is great. It's been awesome.
A bit of advice from Jamie Opulence. He says, quality over quantity. If you feel pressure, it's no longer fun. Just drop a killer video like Usheen does when he wants, because he wants. He is one cool dude as well, isn't he?
I love that motto.
Shane is my mentor. So he was a person who was really early days before I was 1,000 subscribers, saw my YouTube channel and gave me a shout out and brought 2,000 people over to my channel. And I got 2,000 subscribers overnight just because Shane said, hey, Watch Gringo's all right.
Yeah, I watched one of his videos the other day. And I have to say, we had dinner with him a couple of weeks ago, and he was on the show here.
He was out twice with us.
Yeah. And he's just one interesting man, and he's so relaxed. It's the one thing I love, actually. Watches aside, is people, and the interaction we get because of your channel and doing this thing. It's really lovely to meet so many people with such a passion for such an interesting topic. Even when we get it wrong and we're torn to bits for things, it's actually really good fun, and people genuinely absolutely love this stuff, don't they? And you do it for a job, Spence.
But when we met Oisin, we went out for dinner on the Sunday, Gav. We both went out with him, and how he just sat there and just waited and had his wine and just speaks really slowly. Just was really interesting.
He is a legend.
And then it was only, 2 weeks ago when he was here with us, wasn't it? 2 weeks. And it's just really interesting of how he goes through his sort of the way he thinks about a watch and his vision of it. It's just amazing. Really was an eye-opener of a different way of how you do things.
Smudger says Brittany should call herself the Vicar. Where did you come up with the name Watch Gringa?
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Do you guys know what a gringa is?
No, I thought about Googling it. I thought it was ginger.
Nah, it's essentially what people in Latin America call white people and Americans and Canadians who come visit. It's kind of a derogatory term.
Oh.
It's basically I called myself Watch White. Am I allowed to swear on this channel?
You can do whatever you want.
I basically called myself Watch White Bitch.
See, that's where I get the conflict of the Vicar bit. I'm just a bit lost.
It's a funny mix. I'm a funny old little mix here.
You are, aren't you? Little mix. Timeless Watch channel is amazing. Every episode a work of art. That's from the Night Wrist Watchman. How about a Philip Dufour for Christmas?
Ooh, that would be a very intriguing proposition.
Yeah. Jamie Opulent says Gringo. Is that like Gringo? A gringo is
a gringo is a boy. So a gringa is a girl and a gringo's a guy.
Now it's all clear. It's all clear to me now. That's been fantastic. Brittany, it has been fantastic having you on. I'm really excited to see your next episode. I love your editing. I love the style of your show. Says he who edits as well. You edit yourself?
I do everything myself. Edits, everything, concepts. I think if I ever start making some serious money, the first thing I invest in is an editor. That hands down takes most of my time.
I'll drop you my number. We've got a few. I'll drop you my number.
I can't afford you. Like, I can't. I got no money.
I do you a deal. Have faith. I know you've got that. Have faith. We can work something out. Jim Little, Gringa just means white woman. Not derogatory, really. Time check 1953. Hiya all. Sorry I'm late to the show. We literally got about 2 minutes left.
Who's this?
That's time check 1953. So in truth, Paul Thorpe messaged me earlier, and obviously it's an age thing. Sorry, Paul, but we have been live on a Monday night for God knows how many months, and he texted me today to say, what day do you go live? Because I'm going to do a show at 9 o'clock. Are we going to clash? I'm like, no, we're on 8 to 9 every Monday. You've been on the show.
Brittany's straight on now, aren't you, Brittany? Yeah.
I'm due to go on Polly T's channel next, so I'm back to back.
You are having a night of it. Well, in that case, this is the bit that everybody looks forward to. Brittany, this is Spencer faffing up the outro as he does every week. So I'm going to say it's been a pleasure having you on. Lovely to see you, and we look forward to seeing you in person really soon. Spencer, over to you. Outro we go.
Where's my notes?
No notes, no paper, no auto
You haven't got my notes. I'm going to let Kaylee do this tonight.
Go on, Kaylee.
Go on, Kaylee. There we go.
What is it
You can do the outro.
Oh, what is it again?
Go on.
What is that?
I'm going to let Kaylee do it. See, she's...
If you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter
There
of
we
time.
go.
Guys, thanks for joining us.
Brittany, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you
Bye.
soon. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.